What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Spring Fever. As always, it's me, XFL Jim, joined by the one, the only Uncle Rico. What's up, dude?
Dude, a lot of things going on, man. What's going on with you, dude?
A lot, dude. I'm feeling myself. I haven't worn a Hawaiian shirt on a stream in a while. I felt like bringing them back. It's so comfy. I'm feeling myself.
You're showing off a little bit of the stern bush, dude.
I gotta, Eric. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of news. But before we get to any of the news, this show, like every episode of Spring Fever, is brought to you by Royal Retros, the one-stop shop for all your Royal clothing, like every team that you wish still existed, it exists there at Royal Retros. You can get merch from old NBA teams that don't exist, old leagues that don't exist, old USFL teams, old XFL teams. It's all there at Royal Retros. And when you go, make sure you use promo code SPRINGFEVER, all one word, all caps, at checkout for 10% off. They got some sick-ass clothes over there.
They have a sick, for the basketball fans, old school, the town Curry jersey, which is absolutely insane.
I love it. I love it so much, Eric. Eric, there's a lot to talk about. There's still oh, it's killing me, man. This merger talk is killing me. We have XFL, USFL merger rumor update. So the last time we talked about it was kind of breaking because I think the news sort of broke Tuesday. And then we had our show. Obviously, we record and stream it live on Wednesdays. Check out at twitch.tv/XFLGym or twitch.tv/ETOF21sports for the live stream of Spring Fever. But there's been some rumor. Nothing is concrete. I repeat, nothing is concrete, but we have some added things. It looks like, according to the Axios article, it's like a 50-50 split is what they say. And it looks like the most likely outcome is a 12-team league.
Okay.
Rumored 6 hubs.
6
hubs is the rumor going on. I talked about it with Chase on the gymnasium. Everyone knows my thoughts on hubs. I hate them, but I understand them. Like, I get that it saves money, but I still hate it.
Like, at the end of the day, it's a cost thing. You know what I mean?
I get it. It's a personal opinion for me. Like, I don't know anybody who actively likes hubs. I just understand their necessity.
Yeah, I get it.
I also am worried depending on which 6 teams they take. So, obviously, it looks like, I assume they would give priority to people who already have stadium contracts. So, like, Birmingham's in, obviously.
Detroit in.
They're still negotiating it right now, but I believe Michigan would be in.
Yeah. No, they have a multi-year deal with 4.
Well, yeah, they did. They had like a 3-year deal. Yeah. I assume Canton would also be in because they had a multi-year deal.
Yeah.
But how does that work with the XFL teams who had multi-year deals? Because how I think everyone but Houston and Vegas had multi-year deals.
But is it going to be a 50-50 split of teams?
Maybe.
Oh, dude. There's just...
Maybe. You don't know. Like, obviously, so the teams that don't have homes, Vegas, Houston Roughnecks, and then you could just count half of the USFL, basically. Because they don't have their home stadiums. They're just in those hubs.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you would divvy that up. My assumption would be the Vegas Vipers would just be kaput. Because they're the easiest ones to get rid of. They don't have a home. They didn't have a very successful like fan engagement as far as all that goes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously that's the no-brainer. As much as it pains me to say it, I think Pittsburgh's out from the USFL.
But it depends which one of those teams in Canton, because you had Pittsburgh and New Jersey and Canton. Which one felt more at home in Canton?
Yeah, that.
Because it doesn't, like, with the USFL teams, it doesn't matter what city they say. because those teams were in Canton, Ohio the whole time. So I don't know which one Canton viewed more as a home team.
Yeah, that's true.
Shout out Alex in the chat, by the way. USFL, XFL, CFL, IFL, ELF, FAF, LLFA merger. Merge all the leagues.
Just merge everything. Everything. Just bring them all together.
But I don't know how they would divvy the teams up. I don't know what 6 spots would be hubs. I feel like the only 3 for sure that you would need to keep.
Did you see this from James Larson?
Which
USFL has filed for the National Spring League trademark.
I was going to talk about that next. The USFL has they filed a bunch of trademarks for the National Spring Football League. So people are speculating. Now, filing a trademark doesn't mean that they're going to like change the name to that specifically. But it does have people thinking, I know my opinions on calling it the National Spring Football League. And I think it's shit. I think it's awful.
Yeah, I think it's brutal too.
So I think back to the hubs. I think there's 3 that you have to keep. And I think to me they're obvious. You have to keep Birmingham, you have to keep St. Louis, and you have to keep DC. Because those 3 The issue is that DC, with their contract with Audi Field, the MLS stadium, I don't know if the MLS would want 2 teams kind of like tearing up the field, 2 football teams having home games there.
That's true.
So I don't know if that would work, if they'd have to switch that up. Alex also mentions The Rock versus Daryl Johnson cage match to see who controls the league.
I would take The Rock. I would take The Rock.
I would take The Rock as well. So, spoiler alert, Alex, by the way, please don't spoil. Investigator Jim coming out with a video that actually goes in depth on that topic. So, be prepared for that.
Investigator Jim?
Yeah. Eric, what do you think of the National Spring Football League?
Nationally hate it.
Yeah, not a fan.
Not a fan of it. Not a fan. I read something that the XFL like reached out to the CFL too. Did you read that?
Well, so like before the season, if you remember, I don't even know if you were on Spring Fever at that point, or we might have been. It was a while ago, like last year. The XFL and CFL merger talks like dominated the whole XFL news space. That the XFL had reached out to the CFL prior, like before the XFL season began, to do a merger talk and like figure out something with them.
And it just never.
It piddled out. Like the CFL, I believe, is like they are staunch in their ways, and I think the CFL style of football is so drastically different from anything that either the XFL or USFL or especially the NFL would want to do, that it's hard to kind of merge the two.
Yeah.
Because, like, I get the XFL and USFL have different rules. I understand that. I understand that they have different rules than the NFL. But guess what? They're all 4-down football. The fields are all the same size, and they all have the same amount of players on the field.
Into the end zone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, the core tenets are the same.
Yeah, and that was just something that stood out to me when I was doing this.
The XFL's been like trying to like merge and do stuff the whole time.
But so what does that tell you?
I think they just what?
Investigator Jim, what does that tell you?
It tells me that like obviously they're just. I feel like they, as well as a lot of people, view merger and competition specifically as a detriment because there's only spring football. There's only so many eyeballs, so they figure the way to like make spring football work, you just have to have one great product.
Okay. Or they look at it like this. There's like, God, I forget the analogy. Like I remember it from business school. It was like the 4 corners. Like if you have like on 4 corners, you have like what are the restaurants? Applebee's, TGI Fridays, and what 2 other restaurants like that. They're all just going for the same people. Yeah, you know, like they're all just competing for it. But if you have one big restaurant there, you get everybody.
Exactly.
I guess I get what you're saying. for me though, because I'm a business major. Like I like multi businesses, whatever. I always look at the money angle of it. So part of me, when I first heard this, my initial thing was like they saw how in the red they were. They're panicking and they're trying to get something to get it more in the green, head in the green direction.
Potentially, but my question is, if you're starting a new football league and not expecting to be deep in the red for your first couple years, why even do it?
But I mean, like, if you're smart business, you realize when you start a new business, you're probably going to be in the red for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then after 3 years, you're going to start to see stuff in the green. But my worry is like they had some big time investors and then they're seeing this. You know what I mean? Like that's my thing. Like they're, dude, we lost X. We thought we are going to be making money on this.
My worry with that is the fact that they obviously they had the losses year one, which was to be expected. But then you also see the dip in viewership for the USFL from year one to year two. And I wonder if there's enough fandom out there for 2 spring leagues to because maybe they see if both the XFL and USFL are competing against each other actively for 3 years, then neither of them make it to the green.
Do you have the week by week viewership numbers?
Not off the top of my head.
You know what I mean? Like I'm wondering what, you know what I mean? Like how did that dip? Like when the XFL first started, then the USFL started, and then the USFL was just going. Was it just, you know what I mean? Did the XFL dip? Then there was half, and then they all went to the USFL, or the numbers kind of maintained, if you will.
Okay, let's see. Week 9 is when they had USFL. I believe week 9 is when the USFL started. So I'm trying to see. Week 8, St. Louis Battlehawks, Vegas Vipers, 868,000. Guardians, Renegades, 679,000. Brahmas, Roughnecks, 1.006 million. Sea Dragons, Defenders, 487,000. And then week 9, Roughnecks, Vipers, 878,000. Brahmas, Guardians, 235,000. So a major dip there on ESPN2. Defenders, Renegades, 670,000. Battlehawks, Sea Dragons, 570,000. So not only one game had a major dip, and I believe that was less to do with the USFL, more to do with NBA playoffs starting up too.
So I'm looking at this. It says USFL beating XFL through week 7. The article I'm looking at.
When you look at that as well, take into account that the USFL has a way better TV deal, and almost all of their games were either on Fox or NBC. So they were on over the air. Meanwhile, the XFL had most of their games on ESPN or ESPN2.
All right, so here we go. So this one, Birmingham. Oh, these are all. What week are we looking for, buddy? Give me a week here. What week? Week 1 of the USFL was week 1 of the XFL.
It was week 9, I believe, of the XFL.
All right, so pull up some week 9 stuff for me.
I got week 9 right here.
All right. What was the most watched game?
The most watched game of week 9 was the Houston Roughnecks versus the Vegas Vipers on ABC at 878,000 viewers.
878?
Yeah.
So Houston Gamblers, Michigan Panthers, 974.
Okay.
What was your least amount?
It was the Brahmas Guardians, 235.
This was the Maulers Breakers, 483. So all these, like Birmingham and Generals, did an 864. Showboats and Stars did an 837.
Nice.
So I mean that's pretty good. Next week, what you got? Week 2.
The largest one was the Defenders Brahmas on ABC. The ABC one's always going to be the largest of the XFL. 832,000.
Oh, I outdrew this because the biggest one here was Birmingham Stallions, Memphis Showboats, 798.
And what was your least watched?
Houston Gamblers and New Orleans Breakers on the USA Network.
That checks out. Yeah.
133.
Yeah, this one on this week it was the Dragons and Vipers on ESPN2, 378,000.
Next week, most watched.
Well, the next week goes to the playoffs for the XFL.
Okay, so what was your most watched playoff game?
675,000 on ESPN.
So they had two games, 7-7-6 and 7-6-1. Gamblers, Showboats, Maulers, Stars both outdrew.
What channels are those on though?
Fox and NBC.
We mentioned that going into the season. The USFL's TV deal this year specifically kicks the shit out of the XFLs. With how many games they got on Fox and NBC, it was crazy.
Next week.
Well, the next one was the championship game.
And how much was that?
1.6 mil.
This is crazy.
Oh, sorry, 1.8 mil. 1.8 mil.
Guess this week, week 4.
Yeah.
Showboats, Panthers, 2.06 mil.
Damn.
I mean, for a regular season game, that was pretty good. But you're right. I mean, it all depends like what you got. There definitely is a dip in the viewership when it's on USA or Fox Sports 1. Anything that was on Fox or NBC was greatly improved. Like this one right here, week 7. This one I'm assuming because there's no channel listing, it was on Peacock, 161, USA 251, Fox Sports 1 274, but the game on Fox 703.
Yeah, it's the USFL had crazy differences. Like the XFL had a better cable deal for the cable channels being on ESPN. But obviously like the broadcasting for the USFL being on Fox and NBC was way better. That's why in 2020 the viewership was so good for the XFL because it was on Fox and ESPN. They had the partnership with both. So they would have games on ABC, Fox, ESPN, FS1. It was nuts.
Alex in the chat says compare week 1 of the XFL with week 1 of the USFL.
I can do that. I got week 1 pulled up right here.
All right, give it to me, big dog.
Best game for week 1 of the XFL. Oh, that's 2020. The 2021 was way crazier. I scrolled too far down, Eric.
Rookie did. Rookie.
I know. Let me see. Where the hell are you? What the hell? Week 1. There we go. 2023. Number 1 viewer was the Brahmas and Battlehawks on ABC, 1.57 mil.
Yeah, that's more. Highest one here was 974.
The lowest one was 918 on ESPN, the Defenders and Sea Dragons.
So that's the lowest one. The lowest one here was Breakers, Maulers. So,
dude, so they have the 2020 TV ratings. You want me to just tell you what these 2020 ones were?
Yeah.
I'm fucking pissed because they were so much. Week 1 of the XFL in 2020, the opening game, DC Defenders and Seattle Dragons, 3.3 million.
Jesus, dude.
The second game, Roughnecks Wildcats, 3.29 million on Fox. Next one, the next day, Guardians Vipers, 3.39 million. And the fourth game, 2.495 million. Nothing below the mills.
That's absurd, dude. It's absolutely absurd.
And guess what? Week 2 in 2020, nothing under 2 mil.
Dude, they were drawn like fucking insane. They were routinely outdrawing baseball games. Like routinely.
Yes. God damn it, every time I think about it, I get fucking pissed. That year was the best year of my life. Until it wasn't. It was all snatched from me, Eric. I saw the future. I saw the potential. The league was awesome. And then all of a sudden, it's just gone. When it announced that it was canceling the season is the most mad I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, but dude, like, that...
With the momentum of what they had...
The thing is, as soon as the Sea Dragons, like, it came out, like, they had COVID, you knew it was coming.
Oh, for sure. I knew it was coming. But can you imagine the momentum they would have right now being in year 3 of that product?
Yeah.
God. Anyway, not a fan of the National Spring Football League. We don't know nothing about rules, what rules they'd go with. I talked about with Chase what rules he would want and what rules I would want. In a perfect scenario, I liked his idea of you just keep all 16 teams, and then you just split into different conferences, the USFL conference and the XFL conference. And just have the champion play each other. And
yeah,
then you kind of
cool.
then you mix.
I like that.
Yeah, I would love that, right?
Yeah.
You kind of you start when the XFL starts, like right after the Super Bowl, and you just extend the season just a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
I would be so down for that. And you kind of just mix some of the rules together, like XFL's PAT. You could do the USFL kickoff. You could do 2-foot inbounds. They share most of the same rules anyway, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I still have a lot of ideas to how to make it good.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
But Eric, it's only going to get weirder. We're only going to get more information. But there are other things to talk about concerning spring football. The Arena Football League, who apparently is very committed to playing next year, AFL playing next year, 2024. They've announced 2 more teams. Okay. The Orlando Predators and a team in Washington. Doesn't have a name yet. Not Washington, D.C., Washington State.
TBD.
Shout out to Tick. Love you, man. Love you. Other news. Fan Control Football, who I honestly thought was dead, says they're playing next year. Says season 3 is coming next year.
That's good.
If you remember, for those of you out there who remember Fan Control Football League, they got really, really, really into NFTs last year.
Really into NFTs.
And for those of you that followed the whole NFT thing and crypto and all that, it kind of went downhill. So they lost a shitload of money last year off of that. And
NFTs kind of went to shit, dude.
Kind of went away there. What they did, yeah, Alex, yeah, FCF is back. It's fucking crazy. Apparently, it didn't go anywhere. They just kind of laid dormant. But what they're trying to do is they're trying to franchise their teams and get people to buy them. Mm-hmm. Fan Control Football, it's fun. It's a fun thing to watch. It is the most gimmicky thing on the planet.
But you know what? It's fine.
It's fine, but also, I didn't like that they were taking shots at the XFL and USFL. Kind of lowbrow.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they were.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, kind of lowbrow. Just gonna say that. Eric, we're finally here. We got to talk CFL. Week 16 is behind us. A couple things I didn't see coming. I'm going to be flat out honest. I called some of these wrong. Starting with Rough Riders 28, Red Blacks 36. Mm-hmm. I hate to be the guy that I feel jinxed it. The week after I said the Rough Riders could be like a chaos team and disrupt the playoffs and do something interesting, they've tanked. They're shit.
You're like the kiss of death, dude.
I guess so. I feel so bad. this was awful, a terrible performance, and they could very easily lose out. So
it would be kind of funny if, like, coaches your name up on the bulletin board.
I wish he does. But Eric, if they do lose out, who that opens up a door for?
The baby Elks.
The baby Elks, who were so close. The BC Lions 37, Edmonton Elks 29. God.
Almost got home.
God dang, dude. This team has fight, though. This team has fight. Alex is asking for our Grey Cup predictions. If I'm just giving you a straight prediction right now, guess what? It's Toronto, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
That's my prediction right there.
I think Winnipeg gets it done.
I think so too. BC's good. Like, we knew they were good. It was just this was a prove it game. They did it. Montreal 28, Calgary 11. I said that these teams were both bad, and Montreal does the thing that they've done all year, aside from when I actually bet on them. Show that they're not as bad as the worst teams, Eric. There's still that step above. And I hate it.
Yeah.
Montreal 28, Calgary 11, by the way.
Yeah. Montreal is just kind of middle tier for me.
That's what they are. That's what they've been all year. They're perfectly middle of the road.
They're mid, as the kids say.
They're mid AF. Hamilton 14, Toronto 29. I don't know why I thought Hamilton would cover this. Toronto lives to crush their dreams.
Yeah, not even close. Toronto's just boat raced them.
So, where we're standing right now, Eric, after week 16, Winnipeg, BC, and Toronto all clinched playoff spots. Toronto has clinched already. For the last 2 weeks, Toronto has clinched the entire Eastern Division.
Mm-hmm.
So let me look up some CFL playoff scenarios before we get into it. Toronto, forward warning, Toronto is sitting players now.
Yeah.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks left. Toronto will probably be sitting players for health reasons to get healthy for the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, but...
Well, they might not sit him the entire... So what they might do is just sit him for a few weeks and then play him the last couple weeks of the season to tune back up.
Yeah.
Or they might just, Winnipeg hits hard, and Winnipeg is still playing for something. So maybe protect your starters here. I don't know. But here are some playoff scenarios going in. In the West Division, if British Columbia, if the Lions win, they secure a home playoff spot.
Okay.
Hamilton wins. If Hamilton wins...
Hammy?
If Hamilton wins, no crossover potential for West Division fourth place team. So you can't, the fourth place West team won't be able to play for the East. It's not saying Hamilton will get a playoff spot, but if Hamilton wins, then there's no shot that a team from the West can jump in on the East side, which is a possibility that can happen in the CFL.
Yep.
Eric, if Hamilton win and Saskatchewan win, our Elks are eliminated.
Well, you know what we need this weekend then? We need some losses, Big Daddy.
In the East Division, though, Montreal wins, Montreal's in. If Montreal and Hamilton win, Hamilton's in. If Montreal, Hamilton, and Saskatchewan all three win,
yeah,
both Edmonton and Ottawa are eliminated. Also, there's if Ottawa loses and Saskatchewan wins, there's no crossover potential for East Division, fourth place or whatever.
Okay.
So there's a lot going on. Now it's getting tricky. Let's get into the games. Toronto Argonauts at the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Bombers opened. They opened as a 2.5-point favorite. Have jumped recently to a 7.5-point favorite with the over-under set at 48.5 plus 280 on the money line for the Argos. No Swag Kelly.
I would play the under in this game.
I would lean towards the under. I want to see what the under maybe opened up at. Opened at 50.
And was it at now?
48.
I still bet the under.
48 and a half. I still like the under too. It looks like it's going down.
I'd bet the under here.
There you go. Oh shit, Uncle Rico bets the CFL.
I dabble.
I would also lean towards the under. I'm probably not going to play it.
Yeah.
When there's people sitting, I don't like diving in, you know?
Yeah, I usually just will bet the under or just because, or the team total under.
I might do team total under.
Yeah.
See if they have that posted yet. I don't believe they do. They do not. Rough Riders heading over to BC. The BC Lions -10 at home. Over under of 49 plus 395 for the BC Lions.
What's BC's clinching scenarios?
BC's already in. I think they could secure a home playoff spot if they win. But they're already in the playoffs.
How much is it?
10 points.
I have Winnipeg on deck. I had lean Saskatchewan, but I'm not going to bet it.
Lions are 6-2-1 ATS in their last 9 home games.
Look at
Look
Jimbo.
at me throwing out stats, baby. I'm
Jim
learning.
throwing out spreads, dude. Look at this fucker, dude.
Also, you need to tell me if the trends that I do throw out are good or bad because I don't know yet. I just see trends and I say them. So Lions are also 0-4-1 ATS in their last 5 games following an ATS win.
Oh, look at that, dude.
Is that an important one? Is that a good one?
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay, good. Rough Riders are also 0-4-1 ATS in their last 5 road games.
Okay.
So
look at Jimbo just throwing stuff out.
If anything, honestly, I get it's a big spread. But BC at home is crazy. I might lean towards BC.
All right, so let's take a gander at this. Where's BC here? Where's BC? BC Lions, boom. They're at home, right?
They're at home.
What seasons do you want to look at? Time period, seasons.
Oh, here's one for you. A head-to-head trend, Eric, that I got. Rough Riders are 5-0-1 ATS in the last 6 meetings in BC.
Okay.
Actually, in the last 13 meetings altogether, they're 9-3-1.
So the last 3 years at home, BC's 10-12 ATS.
Okay.
So
it's really just been a this season stat that they've been way better at home than on the road.
As a favorite, they're 10-9.
It's not bad. I would lean towards BC, but I'm probably going to stay away.
Okay. All right.
Maybe play the over. Might play the over. I'm going to play the over, Eric. Over 49.
Jimbo playing the over? Okay.
Play the over. Game number 3, Montreal Alouettes, Ottawa Red Blacks. Montreal -2 on the road, over under of 48, plus 105 on the money line for the Red Blacks. Alouettes 5-1 ATS versus a team with a losing record. Just like we said, like what I've said all fucking year.
I would fade Montreal.
I would bet Montreal just because Ottawa's a bad team and Montreal does this to bad teams.
Nah, Ottawa. I would think Ottawa here. Excuse me, jeez, sorry.
I'd lean towards Montreal. That's just my take. Montreal playing for a playoff spot, I believe. Ottawa playing not to get eliminated. That's also a factor.
Yeah, I would take Ottawa.
I would take Montreal. I'm not going to bet it. I don't like it, but I would take Montreal. Calgary Stampeders, Hamilton Tiger Cats. The Ticats -1 at home, over under 48.5, plus 100 on the money line for the Stamps. This is a gross game.
Mm-hmm.
I want nothing to do with it. I'm only going to have one bet this whole goddamn week, Eric.
I know. It's a tough week, dude. Tough week.
This is a real tough week.
Tough week, Jimmy. Tough week.
Especially without our Elks playing. This sucks. The Elks aren't even playing, so they don't even have a shot to, like, potentially... Like, their playoff hopes are just all up in the air.
Yeah. Which sucks. Our baby Elks.
You know what I might do? I'm going to have one other bet. Under 48.5. Stampeders, Ticats.
Look at you, dude.
Those are my two bets for the week. And I'm going to let you off. I'm rooting against Saskatchewan.
Okay.
I'm rooting against Hamilton.
Okay.
And I'm rooting against Ottawa.
I'm off the Hamilton train.
I'm rooting against Saskatchewan. I'm rooting against Hamilton. I'm rooting against Ottawa, so the Elks have a shot.
Mm-hmm.
They have a shot. The only bets I'm playing, Eric, Rough Riders Lions over 49, Stampeders Ticats under 48.5.
I'll probably bet the under in the Blue Bombers game. That's probably all I'm going to do.
I'll probably bet the team total for Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not going to touch that. Eric, there's one last thing to mention. X League, baby. I have the notes from last show we did right here, how Eric did. So we had 6 matchups, baby. And here's how they went. We had the Panasonic Impulse taking on the Tokyo Gas. Panasonic wins 28-21, a surprising close game.
Okay.
For those of you who don't follow X League religiously, it's really like there's a tier system in place. There's Panasonic. There's Fujitsu, and then kind of below them is Panasonic and Obic, and then it's everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Gas Creators had it this close is impressive. Very impressive. And I promise for the next one in 2 weeks, I don't even know if Eric's going to be here for the next episode when we tackle X League.
A big day that day, buddy. Big day.
That's the 11th. Is that your little B day?
That's Uncle Rico's special day, dude. Uncle Rico's special day.
I love it. Yeah, shout out to the Gas Creators keeping it lit. Yeah, Alex Fujitsu, legit. The Nojima Sajimahira and the Obic Seagulls. Obic wins this one 24-6. A defensive battle. I mean, this is what I'm talking about when I talk tiers.
Yeah.
So, come on. Speaking of which, my favorite team, the Lixil Deers, took on the Fujitsu Frontier, the top team in the league.
Here's baby.
What do you think the score was, Eric?
Here's won by 12.
I wish. Think Colorado and think domination because Fujitsu won this one 60-3.
Ooh. Ooh.
Fukuoka Suns Acai beer. I know Eric was rooting for the beer. And they won it. The beer won it 17-14. Go chug an acai on me, Eric. I'm gonna buy you
chug
one.
one down. Go chug one down.
Let's go tornado a beer right now.
I got no beers in the casa, my friend. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Grocery days tomorrow, buddy. Grocery days tomorrow.
Yeah, it's. I gotta get groceries too. I have beer but no food.
I have food but no beer.
IBM Elecom. This is the only one Eric got wrong. Elecom loses. Eric had Elecom winning this one. Elecom loses 21-35 to IBM. IBM's a solid team too.
Yeah.
Alex is correct. The Dentsu Caterpillars do suck. Dentsu loses 13-49 to the Acai Beverages. It's for those of you who don't watch X League, when you can, it's very exciting. I understand for a lot of people here in the States, it's hard. Not only is it hard to find the games, you got to pay for them.
Yeah.
They're on late as shit. And
my ass is long gone then, dude.
And also, like, the Sunday games start when the night games for college football start. Like a lot of the Pac-12 games are overlapping with the start time of these games. And it just so happens this year in particular, Eric, in my opinion, the Pac-12 is maybe the most exciting conference to watch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
So I focus more. I know I'm like spring football guy, but it's college football is the best thing on the planet. I'm gonna say it. So it's hard. It's hard when they line up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very late. And sometimes I'm a sleepy boy. I know Eric's a sleepy boy.
Dude, I'm a very sleepy boy.
Oh, we have some Sunday and Monday games next week. In 2
Ooh.
weeks. Maybe. I haven't streamed one yet. I really need to get on that. I need to stream some of these games, Eric. I need it. I need it.
You need it and you want it?
I told the people, I promise only that I will try. I'll tell you this, I'm not streaming the games on October 7th. Oh, you will be here. The 4th.
I will be here October 4th, yes.
So we'll be able to preview the games.
Yes.
Sick. I will not be able to stream because I'm going on a family trip that weekend. So.
Oh, where are you going, big man?
Branson, Missouri, baby.
You know what? I've never been to Branson.
Neither have I. But folks, that'll do it for this episode of Spring Fever. We will keep you up to date on all things XFL, USFL merger talk. Shout out Herb, you coming at the end, buddy. Coming in at the end, baby.
Herb.
We will keep you up to date on all things XFL, USFL merger, all things CFL, all things X League. We got you, folks. Any updates? We love you. Eric, anything you want to shout out before we dip out?
No, our boy Chase came on the stream last night. Covered some
Great
NFL
show.
stuff.
Great stream.
Jim was talking shit about Tua. We had a little back and forth via the chat.
Put some respect on his name. Yeah.
We'll see this weekend, my friend.
We will. I'm on the Bills too. So
Jim, Chase, and I will live Saturday morning, 8:30, talking some college football. I got one big dog I really like a big dog this weekend.
I'm very excited for that. Investigator Jim coming out with a video, I believe will be released either Thursday or Friday, probably Friday, discussing XFL, USFL merger situation and who might be pulling the strings behind the whole operation. Stay tuned for that. And just last bit to go out on, go over to Royal Retros, folks. They got great merch. They got great clothing. And they have great teams. And make sure when you do, you use promo code SPRINGFEVER. Because it's going to be awesome. Use it. I got it scrolling down here. It's scrolling. Look at that. Look at that. And if you're listening, there's a link in the description.
Yep.
We'll see you guys next week for another hot and heavy episode of Spring Fever.